Hi, this is Garrett from Common Ground Garden Permaculture. It is July 1st, 2025. We're in zone 6B or 5A, depending on which map we consult. And I just wanted to give an update of what's going on in the garden. We are here in the West Orchard. I'm not sure if I'm able to do this, but this orchard was started actually just last spring in 2024. We have apple trees, and between the apple trees we have blackcurrant and some strawberry bushes. We even have some apples on these young trees, which is fairly amazing. So we have 24 young apple trees, and this row after the apple tree is a row of blackberries that we planted last year from cuttings from some of our other blackberry plants. This row is a row of raspberries that we took from runners from the other part of the garden. And we have some very young cherry bushes. These are, I believe, Romeo, Juliet, Valentine from the Romance series. We have our row of asparagus that we started from seed last year. It's doing very, very well. And our 3 rows of strawberries that still need more weeding, but they are doing wonderfully, and we're getting strawberries every day. This Valentine cherry bush actually has a cherry in it. They had more, but there's a lot of fruit drop. They're very young bushes. And so we've got more rows of cherries and Saskatoon bushes. This row we have started this year putting in more raspberry runners from some of our raspberries on the other side. These 2 rows of rhubarb were taken from one small row that we had to divide up, and it made surprisingly 2 quite large rows. And some young rows of gooseberries. They're a little bit hard to see. Some of them are a little bit easier to see than others. And we're trying a row of black-capped raspberries. We're going to stake them up with a trellis system very soon. Over to this side, we have our squash field, and a little bit farther along, our potato field. And actually, these ones are a little bit easier to see. We actually have some gooseberries that are ripening that I should pick before I go. These are some more of the bush cherry trees. These are d'Artagnan, and looking much riper than I expected for this time of year. They were just planted last year, and I was not expecting them to produce anything, and they are producing quite nicely for young bushes. And then our other fruit trees, we've got peach, sweet cherry, an almond tree with 1 almond in it. It's a little hard to see, but 1 large almond. So actually we can see our black-capped raspberries are coming along nicely. Got apricot and plum, nectarine, and then we extended the orchard this year. Actually, well, the nectarine are from the spring. Some Asian pear, which I got bare root, doing nicely, and will be a future crop. Some hazelnut, more Saskatoon bushes, and then what else do we have? We have some pear trees down there who are very young and it's having a little bit of difficulty, but they have growth on them. And at the very end we have 3 small cranberry bushes, so kind of exciting. And our squash is up in hills, and we're going to be feeding it with pile of manure that you might be able to see over the far corner. And I'm going to take a walk over to the other side of the garden. So here we are over on the east side of the driveway in the older part of the garden. A small portion of this garden was started in 2019. Most of it was enlarged starting in 2022. These fruit trees along the perimeter were planted in 2023, so we've got a mixture of apples, black currant, gooseberry, hazelnut, Saskatoon bushes, and down at the end is the part that I'm more excited about. We have some pawpaw trees, most of which were started from seed in 2022. Now they need some more weeding and some more care, but I am pleased with how they're doing. I put tomato cages around them to help identify them so people don't weed them, but so these are the young pawpaw trees that were started in 2022 from seed. A lot of black cap raspberry. So the pawpaw, initially we had 17, we still have 12 that have overwintered. All of this row of raspberries and continuing up, this was all planted in 2023. 2022 rather. So these are just 3 years old. If I'm able, I will put in a picture of when they were first planted. It looked very bare, but they've filled in the space very nicely and are coming along. And another part of the garden that I'm quite pleased with is our grape section, our vineyard. Well, it won't be a vineyard, but so we have these grapes that were planted in 2023. We didn't have a support system in for them until this year, so we're just training them at this point. But we are going to get some grapes this year. Can I zoom in? Yes. And we can do some more weeding, but we are going to be leaving native perennials in between the grape bushes, as long as they don't interfere, which most of them won't. And so we've got different varieties of table grapes. The first one that is producing quite nicely is a Concord type grape. It's not a Concord, and I forget the name. This one is probably either a Candace or a Himrod, which were the other two varieties. And we have a few grapevines that were given to us by Stephen's daughter, Chanot, who grafted them. And so I have no idea what these ones will be like. They've never produced before, so this is the first year that we're going to be getting any grapes from them. So it's kind of exciting, and I mean, I'm just happy to see them coming along so nicely, but it will also be a surprise to see what we actually get from them as well. And up here we have our original blackberry thicket. When I planted this in 2022, it was really not much of anything, and it's coming along quite nicely. The canes are now well established. The berries are coming along. They've just finished flowering. In fact, we still have some flowers left, but a lot of berries. So it's really nice to see these coming along. We should have a good harvest and a good harvest of grapes. And this is just kind of panning over the rest of the garden. And we do have currants and native flowering perennials along this border as well, with some of the older fruit trees that were planted probably in 2020. And some of these produced fruit last year. This year it seems like they're taking a year off, but it was their first year of producing last year, so can't ask too much from them. And so that's the state of the garden on this beautiful July day. And if you liked this video and want to follow me to see more updates of what we're doing here on the outskirts of Toronto in Pickering, Ontario, please subscribe or click the like button. And if you have any questions, please feel free to add a comment in the comment section below. Thank you very much. Take care.